how I got over, how I got over. My soul looks back and wonder how I got over. Either save me or kill me.
You had mentioned earlier, or at least I wanted to kind of guide us to where your previous lifestyle had started to grow old, take its toll, what have you, and eventually you found your way to becoming a minister. Is that correct? And I wanted to ask if experiencing both sides of the fence has kind of helped you in your capacity as a minister today, because you know what people that have only been ministers don't know. Has it helped you?
There is no question about that, my brother.
Yeah.
No question. I'm more empathetic, but at the same time, I'm a no-nonsense person. This is going to be really bad to say it this way, but this is how I feel. I'm kind of in the pray for your own ass ministry. You know, I've been a minister so long that if a person, and I start with me, everything starts with me and what I went through to understand this. If you're not going to pray for yourself, and you're not going to make the changes necessary to allow those prayers to work in your life, I'm not going to waste my time.
Sure.
But I used to pray and, labor with people, but the last 10, 12 years, I can't do that anymore. Because my time on this earth, I don't know how long God's going to let me live, And I work very hard to try to stay healthy, but, it's all in his hands. But I don't have the time to work with people who are not going to work for themselves.
Sure.
Okay? And I know right now, ministers and ecclesiastic people have said, pray for your own ass ministry. Yeah. That's why God won't give me a church anymore, because that would be my sign.
Yeah.
Welcome to the pray for your own ass church.
Here's your sign.
Okay. Because I can't help you. Only God can help us. And only yourself doing the work.
Yeah.
But if you're doing, I minister on social media all the time. The people are really reaching out and really making steps to change, Now, let me also say this. I wish I could have a glass of wine. I wish I had the strength to have a cigarette. I don't wish for the drugs. And I'm so beyond the sexual drives of myself, because all of those things rolled together to contrive to kill me. And it was me, killing me. I can't blame anybody that had them, that shared them with me. By the way, thank you very much back then. But anyway, no, it was me. See, my father used to preach, every tub has to sit on its own bottom. Ain't that true? He didn't originate it, but that was part of his slogans and his sermons. And I always, it sunk in towards the end of my career with all the drugs, sex, the
Sure.
stuff. And so when I gave it up, I made a vow to God when he saved my soul and saved my life and saved me from myself. Ain't that a kick in the rubber parts? Okay. It was me. And so I feel like this. My heart goes out to drug addicts, but only to the point where you have to really want it. I had come so far down low that I knew I was going to die. I didn't want to die, but I really, that aha moment, as they say, was a big aha for me. And it was an epiphany, and I knew that I was probably weeks away from dying. I knew it with everything in me, my friend. And I didn't want to do that, and I didn't want to disappoint myself with all these gifts that God has given me. I'm twice published author. I've written 20 novels, on and on. I'm 287 pages into a new novel. I ain't just been up in this house, saying I stay very busy just like you. But I knew that I had to change. I wanted so bad, but still, here's the other common denominator. I told the Lord, either save me or kill me.
One way or the other.
I can't go on like that. I couldn't go on anymore like that. And I felt in that moment, I felt the imitable power of God strike me from the top of my head, and I just felt his power permeate every atom, every part of my being down to my toes. And from that day to this day, I have never gone back on that. And the Word of God says, forgetting not these things from which I brought you from. I got other mess that he's still trying to,
Sure.
to work on me with. But those things, drugs, sex, alcohol, smoke, the vices, that was it for me, And so there's a song that I learned as a child. It's called How I Got Over. How I got over. How I got over. My soul looks back and wonder how I got over. I mean, now there's some truth in there. For all of us, and yourself included, I don't exactly know, except I was ready and ripe for change. And I knew that I was going to die, and I didn't want to. And so I gave my life to a higher power. I don't want to sound all Jesus-y and all this stuff, but I'm telling you folks, at least for me, the buck starts and stops here for me, just like with every other human being. I gave my life to the Lord, and I won't turn back. I'm going to go to my grave as I am now, and every day is still a step forward.
Sure.
I get tempted. Sometimes I'll see somebody, I go, you see that's a running thing with me. Or, if I watch TV or those exposés and I'll see a pile of cocaine, I'll go,
Yeah.
and remember, but what it did to me. People say a lot of times, interviewers or whatever, people that talk to me about this, that have never done it, they say, what's the fascination? Why did you do drugs? Because it felt good.
Yeah.
Why
did so many for so long?
And this is something that the ecclesia don't really like to say, because
Yeah.
their hearts are so afraid, I keep it real, as you see. I have no filters, nothing. Drugs, alcohol, all that, except sex, it feels good. Okay? Let's just keep it real. It feels good, but there is a price
Sure.
to pay.
And that's the insight I think I was trying to touch on.
There's a
Having
price.
been there, now being somewhere else to kind of send a message to everyone.
And I hope that you and your viewers can see, I'm happy.
Sure.
I don't feel deprived or anything of that. Well, maybe because I did your bunch, my bunch, everybody else. But it's more that my soul feels clean. Either should die. I'm sorry. Don't want to go in that road. Okay. But I believe in praising God for what he's done. I feel good. I feel clean. I couldn't bear to feel like I did then with all of that. You wake up, oh God, what did I did? And knowing what you did and knowing what you weren't doing.
Sure.
And so I worked so hard to come out of that with the power of God leading me out and stuff. And believe me, my body, oh God, like I said, it was just in the desert to expel all of that and get that out of my DNA, because it does get down to the DNA. I hope you all realize that. We alter ourselves with all of that, all the excesses and stuff. So that took over a year or so for me to
Sure.
cleanse. I tell people, salvation is free and it's immediate if you accept it. But, sanctification comes at the cost. It's going to take time.
Right.
And you got to be strong, because Satan, if you don't even want to use that analogy, I'll go here. the evil forces in the universe. I'll go there with you. When the moon is in our seven. Okay. You got to fight it, you know. But we are stronger because the V force of the universe made us and made everything, and is stronger then. You know, that's why I don't fear, for me, what's happening with Russia and all this stuff and stuff, because I know where I'm going. This is how I believe. It doesn't, you know, I don't negate anybody else's belief system, but for Michael O'Hara, I know that I am redeemed. I know the Redeemer on a personal, molecular level. I feel like a child before him, and the humility of all of that. But I know when my work is done on this earth and God closes my eyes, I know where I'm going.
Sure.
I know it, just like I'm talking to you all right now. I'm going to be with him forever, and we'll all be together. All of us that will be in heaven, we'll all be together. That's the way I believe. That's the way I live. That's my story, and I ain't changed it. I'm gonna love you like nobody's loved you. Come rain or come shine.
New Orleans musicians.com.